This is Voice of Korea.
You're listening to VRK Voice of Korea News Now.
The fifth conference of security officials was held in the capital Pyongyang between November the 19th and 23rd. The Central Committee of the Workers' Party of Korea convened a large meeting of security officials of the Democratic People's Republic of Korea in order to safeguard the party and the revolution in every way by extraordinarily enhancing the function and role of the security organs, the political guard of the party, and the vanguard rank of the class struggle in line with the changing situation of the revolution and the requirement of the period of the overall development of socialist construction, and bring about a new turn in the struggle for defending our ideology and system and the security of the people, and thus provide a firm guarantee for the vigorous advance and development of the cause of the party. The conference made a profound and general analysis and review of the successes, experiences, and lessons in the security affairs in the past, and seriously discussed practical issues to fundamentally improve the security affairs as a whole. Present there were Park Jung-chun, member of the Presidium of the Political Bureau of the Central Committee of the Workers' Party of Korea and Secretary of the Party Central Committee, Lee Chang-dae, Minister of State Security, Park Soo-il, Minister of Public Security, and Woo Sang-chul, Director of the Central Public Prosecutor's Office. The conference was attended by commanding personnel and security officials of the security organs at all levels, including the Ministry of State Security and security organs in the field of armed forces. Also on hand as observers were officials of judicial, prosecutors, and public security organs. Courteously conveyed at the conference was an important letter sent by the respected Comrade Kim Jong-un, General Secretary of the Workers' Party of Korea and President of the State Affairs of the Democratic People's Republic of Korea, to the participants in the fifth conference of security officials. A report was made by Lee Hee-young, First Deputy Department Director of the Central Committee of the Workers' Party of Korea, which was followed by speeches. The reporter and speakers mentioned the successes and experiences achieved in the course of waging a struggle to frustrate the vicious hostile acts and conspiratorial moves of the enemy against the DPRK, firmly defend the single-minded unity of the party and the masses, and smash the anti-socialist and non-socialist practices, regarding it as the first mission and the most crucial revolutionary duty of the security organs to safeguard the idea and authority of the party in every way. They called upon all to cement their units as the impregnable fortresses of defending the leader, revolution, policy, system, and people, and make a certain and tangible improvement in the security affairs by regarding the Juche-oriented idea and line on security clarified by Kim Jong-un as an immutable guideline, and displaying their undaunted courage, strenuous efforts, tireless passion, and fighting spirit. There was a sectional short course for the participants during the period of the conference. A letter of pledge to Kim Jong-un was adopted.
A symposium was held at the Central Youth Hall on the 24th to deeply grasp the idea and theory on party building in the new era, set forth in the historic lecture given by the respected Comrade Kim Jong-un to the teaching staff and students of the Central Cadres Training School of the Workers' Party of Korea. Present there were party officials of the national and Pyongyang city-level institutions and teachers and students of the party cadres training institutions. At the symposium, Lee Il-hwan, Secretary of the Central Committee of the Workers' Party of Korea, Baek Hyung-chul, Rector of the Central Cadres Training School of the Workers' Party of Korea, Lee Hee-young, First Deputy Department Director of the Central Committee of the Workers' Party of Korea, and Bak Tae-deok, Department Director of the Central Committee of the Workers' Party of Korea, made public papers which profoundly explained and proved the validity and scientific accuracy of the immortal idea and theory guaranteeing the eternal prosperity of the party building. They said the historic lecture on the orientation of the building of our party in the new era and the tasks of the Central Cadets Training School of the Workers' Party of Korea given by Kim Jong-un on the significant day when the Workers' Party of Korea began to take historical root shines brilliantly as an undying great program noteworthy in the history of building the Juche-based Revolutionary Party for its classical and important meaning. They stressed that his lecture is an important guideline that provided a scientific and theoretical guarantee to resolutely defend the ideal and exploits of the great leaders Kim Il-sung and Kim Jong-il for party building through generations. They proved that Kim Jong-un's historic lecture is a great action program that provides a powerful weapon for strengthening the whole party by developing and enriching the Juche-based theory on party building in accordance with the demand of the revolutionary practice in the new era. They explained that the proud achievements made in the party building and activities over the past 10 years under his wise leadership serve as a solid foundation and fundamental guarantee to further strengthen and develop Workers' Party of Korea into the party of the leader, the motherly party, and the guiding force of the revolution. They proved that the new 5-point orientation for building the Workers' Party of Korea presented by Kim Jong-un is an eternal great program which indicated an original path for party building in the new era. They called on all party organizations and party officials to bring about a radical turn in their work regarding his historic lecture as a valuable guideline for party building and activities, which clarify the revolutionary and scientific fighting tasks and practical ways for the strengthening and development of the party and the victorious advance of the revolutionary cause of Juche. A seminar in the field of economics was held on the 24th under the sponsorship of the Economic Society of the Democratic People's Republic of Korea. The seminar was aimed at finding rational and practical methods conducive to the development and introduction of the electronic financial service system. Present there were officials, teachers, and researchers of many units, including Kim Il-sung University, the University of National Economy, the Academy of Social Sciences, the Central Bank, the Foreign Trade Bank, and the Ministry of Information Industry. The seminar was held under the theme on the development and establishment of electronic financial service system. Presented to it were the papers on the ways for making rational use of economic levers. A national exhibition and presentation of scientific achievements in the field of forestry took place between the 10th and the 24th under the sponsorship of the Korean Forestry Association of the Central Committee of the General Federation of Science and Technology of Korea. The exhibition and presentation was held under the theme of Scientification of Forest Creation and Management. Examined and discussed there were 110 of papers on the successes and experiences made in the scientification of forest creation, protection and management, and on their ways. Also held during the period was a symposium on scientific management of forests in the Samjian area. Successes are reported at light industry factories in Pyongyang City. Officials and employees of the Ryongak-san Surf Factory are increasing the variety of products by pooling their creative wisdom and efforts to develop and produce famous goods and commodities favored by people. The Pyongyang Hosiery Factory created and introduced more than 500 designs into production this year in their efforts to develop and produce famous goods and commodities. Many high-yielding units and persons were produced in the field of sericulture. The number of high-yielding units increased by several tens as against last year, and over 1,000 high-yielding persons were produced. The sericultural units across the country are making preparations for increasing the cocoon production next year.
And that's the end of the news.
Hello.
Hello?
At present, our country is opening a new era of rural promotion according to the program of Rural Revolution presented at the 4th plenary meeting of the 8th Central Committee of the Workers' Party of Korea. How about talking about it?
Okay.
What is important in achieving the rural development is to raise the ideological consciousness of the agricultural workers, bring about rapid development of the agricultural productive forces, and fundamentally change the living environment in the countryside.
Right. They are the targets that should be hit in the rural development of Korean style.
As in all other affairs, importance is first of all attached to the role of the agricultural workers in achieving the rural promotion as well.
Sure. The rural promotion is powerfully accelerated when the agricultural workers are firmly prepared ideologically, scientifically, and technologically.
What is also important is to achieve the rapid development of the agricultural productive forces. Scientific methods are constantly studied to cope with the disastrous weather phenomena deciding a rich and poor harvest and the factors giving hindrance to farming according to a well-thought-out plan. And the irrigation, mechanization, chemicalization, and electrification of agriculture are powerfully promoted to increase the agricultural production.
Quite right. We can take the mechanization of agriculture as an example. It is our party's plan to present a new scene of the socialist countryside where the agricultural workers do farming merrily with homemade modern machines.
The Kumsung tractor factory, which made the first tractor in our country in 1958, is now changing into a leading factory to surely guarantee the introduction of comprehensive mechanization of agriculture. The first stage project for rebuilding it on a modern basis was finished, and the inaugural ceremony held on November the 2nd.
Yeah, maybe our listeners got the news through the website.
What our party attaches special importance in speeding up the rural promotion is to decisively change the aspect and environment of the countryside.
Yes, it is our party's policy of rural construction to change all the rural villages across the country into those becoming to the level of the rural villages in Samjiyon city of Ryanggang province and make them rich and modern socialist utopia in the near future.
In the rural construction, it is important to show the characteristics of regions concerned clearly, the mountainous areas as befitting mountainous areas, and the lowland or coastal areas corresponding to them.
Right. The Dunpo Greenhouse Farm inaugurated in October is a modeling standard in achieving the socialist rural development. With it as a model, the overall development of rural communities will be promoted more powerfully and confidently, I think.
You're right. Well, thank you for joining me.
You're welcome. Mansugyo Fish and Meat Shop frequented by people. The Mansugyo Fish and Meat Shop on the bank of the picturesque Botong River in the capital city Pyongyang is a service center frequented by the Korean people. The shop is associated with the warm love of the respected comrade Kim Jong-un, who is always concerned to provide the people with more affluent life. In order to realize the noble desire of the great leader Kim Jong-il, who made painstaking efforts to improve the diet of the capital citizens as early as possible, Kim Jong-un chose the site of the shop, formed the powerful builders, and visited the construction site 2 times to show the orientation and ways for the project in detail. Looking around the shop on April the 25th, Zuche 101 or 2012, when it was inaugurated with due ceremony, he stressed time and again the need to provide it with commodities on a regular basis and earnestly said he'd wait for good news that the people benefit from the Mansugyo Fish and Meat Shop. Regarding his earnest request as the motor of their commercial service activities, the officials and employees of the shop have worked hard for the people over the past 10 years. Today, too, they are making active efforts to play their role as the servants of the people.
Dear listeners, with this we conclude the English language service of Voice of Korea from the Democratic People's Republic of Korea.